one another.
Punch me.
I don't need to punch you.
Guy.
From behind the wheel of two minivans.
Mine's gonna be cooler than yours.
Quit goofing on me, Dave.
Join us now as two award-winning custom bike builders. Artist Jamie.
I love that stuff. Going against the grain.
And engineer Dave.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Lead a group of local builders.
Nice job.
To create another outrageous vehicle.
That's awesome.
And inspire a struggling city. On Motor City Motors. This week's challenge.
And watch the paint, watch the paint.
Turn two ordinary minivans
Did you see that, dude?
That was awesome.
into one extraordinary freewheeling thrill ride.
Awesome.
And prove that the best way to get these brothers to come together
You gonna punch me?
Are you gonna swear me?
You gonna punch me?
You gonna swear me?
is to keep them at an arm's length. They have 5 days and 5 local Detroit builders. If they can get their creation to drive the length of the garage and back by midnight on the 5th day, each builder takes home an economic stimulus package. $5 grand in tools from Cobalt, Bailey, Miller Welding, and Ranger.
This side is really in good shape. What we're doing this week, it's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I got some ideas. I think that we should just cut the whole back end of it off. Then we're gonna have to figure out some plate for the caster. So let's just cut the back of it off and then boom, come down with, steel.
Right.
And that'll support the caster.
To construct their design, the brothers will cut each of the vans in half, creating 2 front-wheel drive pods. Then, each one will be stabilized by a large caster in back.
If we're gonna put the pivot point right
Yeah.
above the wheels,
Tie it all the way back in.
the stress that's gonna be on that joint right there needs to be tied into the frame.
Yeah, totally.
Or else it's gonna snap or bend.
So we'll bring it across there, have the pivot here.
Yeah, we just get rid of all the sheet metal.
Yeah.
Next, they'll weld bearings to each end of an I-beam, which will connect the pods and allow each to drive independently. The brothers will have to cooperate in order to steer the vehicle.
Since we don't have to worry about speed, we can really focus on the style.
Yeah.
We'll make them the same and then tweak each one. You can tweak
Yeah,
yours
that's
out. You can leave it like that if you like.
Mine's gonna be cooler than yours.
Quit goofing on me, Dave.
This week's builders: industrial electrician Mark Wilder, designer and engineer Kyle Watson, fabricator Nikki Rude, master mechanic Alfred Pygot, and electrical mechanical wizard Rick Sapirski.
Welcome to Motor City Motors.
Hey, guys.
I'm Dave. My brother
James.
So I want to show you guys what we're doing this week. As you can see, we have not one, but 2 minivans. What we're gonna do is cut the back of them, the back of the minivan off,
The third wheel is gonna be a giant-sized caster.
and we're gonna connect the 2 of them with a long I-beam through the middle.
The I-beam is gonna be long enough so that these 2 cars, they're both front-wheel drive, can go like this, right? We'll just have that I-beam connecting them all. And then towards the end of the week, then we're gonna put our different personalities into it.
And basically the criteria for success is that we've got to go all the way down the structure, do a 3-point turn, come all the way back. And if that happens,
You guys get all your tools.
The clock starts now.
We're gonna need something before the cut, after cut.
It's always more fun to take things apart than put them back together. do you think? Just cut through it?
First aid kit and a spoon.
One door removed.
The team quickly makes headway.
That's fun, man.
But one builder already has some questions about the game plan.
This is like a little kid's soccer game. You got ball in the middle of the field, every single player swarms, absolutely total chaos, no organization.
Kyle isn't often phased in his line of work. As a teacher at the College for Creative Studies, he's used to having all the answers.
One of the great things about working at CCS is that they encourage their instructors to work on their own projects, etc. It's a really great place to work, fosters creativity, and I love being here and I love working here.
I think we just need to, like, you know, they've got a task to do, there's only so much room over there. Other people need to come over here. Divide our time a little bit better.
Side.
This side?
Yep, give it a good yank.
I think it's gonna be really cool.
What you doing down there?
Trying to take a gas tank out.
See how dirty that gets? That's why I don't ever wear pink. Maybe a little fuchsia, no pink.
Nikki Rude is always up for a challenge.
I do whatever it takes, you know, to get through life. And most people, like my girlfriends, they all call me up, Nikki, can you fix this? It's broke.
You got the front of the door?
I'm like, why don't you call your boyfriend up? I was like, because you can fix it. It's like, come on over, you know. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute.
Very nice girl, that's all I can say. She seems smart, witty, and she likes to grab tools and get in there and get things done.
There. Take that. People are always going to expect you to not be able to do it. So the harder you work and people see it, I think they respect you a lot more.
I'm actually kind of jealous. I wish my wife was more like that. Cut that. Busted, yeah.
Mark is right at home with the unconventional.
It's my eco-friendly green car. I've actually driven this back and forth to work. One thing I'm working on right now is this jet engine. Once you start it on good fuel, you can switch over to vegetable oil, so then you'll have a cheap supply of electricity. I'm really into solar power. With the sun going throughout the whole day, you need a way to track it. Okay, we'll just say that this flashlight is the sun. And watch, see how it follows? A lot of people would say, well, why do you want to build that? I say, well, if you have to ask why, then you don't understand.
Possible. But
The first van is ready to go under the knife.
Well, just trying to get a plan of attack before we start cutting things apart.
But Kyle knows the job won't be as easy as it looks.
I have no experience cutting a minivan in half. My biggest concern is that the decisions that we're making are the correct ones. The fuel lines, we need to keep those as unmangled as possible. I don't know where you get the qualifications to do weird stuff like this, to be honest with you.
Dave's brought in some old conveyor parts that will provide bearings for the pivots mounted on top of each van.
Holy mackerel. Is that my other bearing?
Yeah.
One's made out of wood?
No, it's steel.
They couldn't be more different.
They actually are very similar.
What concerns me about the bearings is that they're the same size. So whatever we do to one, we can duplicate it and do it on the other side.
Unscrew that, this whole thing comes right off.
Okay.
Then what you're left with is a pretty nice cylinder that we can weld right onto.
Okay, I'll get that prepped.
As Mark pushes ahead with the bearings,
Well, we can tie from here forward, and we can box it in underneath for the caster.
Kyle is trying to bring some order to the van teardown. He's got an idea to reinforce the frame before cutting it in half.
We're gonna box in this back area. We're gonna run a beam along the floor, and run a beam along the ceiling, and then drop a beam straight down so that when we cut the thing in half, it doesn't turn into one giant floppy taco. Well, these are the last few steps before we can cut the back end off. We've notched out the roof.
So our vertical stanchions can go right in this slot here.
We're gonna run one more across on the inside. We're gonna weld it together.
How we doing? Not chopped yet, huh? They're going really, really slow. You know, they're bracing this thing and gusseting it like they're gonna reattach it. From the back, if it gets a little tweaked, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that we get it cut. I mean, we're well into the first day, and these things still aren't cut in half yet. It's not a big deal to cut them in half.
After more than 3 hours of welding the support frame per Kyle's plan, Dave and the team are finally ready to cut. The top half is cut in two, but a snag is preventing the bottom from coming apart.
There's the emergency brake cables holding it together. There we go.
Yeah, dude. That's it. That's it, man.
After 12 hours of work, the team has only managed to get one van cut in half. At this rate, they'll never make the deadline.
Dave wanted us to get both vehicles cut in half. That didn't happen. We got one cut in half. We're slow, ineffective, we're working stupid. Tomorrow, we need to come up with a concrete game plan so we can move forward in a more effective manner.
The Detroit brothers and their crew are one day into this week's Swing Van Challenge. The team is taking two minivans,
Easy, easy.
chopping them in half, then attaching them to a long beam and bearings, allowing both pods to spin independently. But the team is already behind schedule. Yesterday, they only got one of the vans cut in half. So they'll have to step up their game if they plan to make Friday's deadline.
All right, guys, day 2. Today, I'd like to see both of these cut in half, and I'd like to get the beam across the middle figured out. I'd like to see 2 people on each minivan, and you can still work on the bearing.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Hey, great.
We've got a few concerns about structure and strength and things like that. We start digging ourselves into a hole. That hole is going to get real deep real fast. It's going to be difficult to backpedal out of it.
I gotta get the sheet metal off, and then I have to get the 2 passenger seats out. So we can put the gas tank where the passenger seat is.
As Kyle and Rick get the second van underway, it's up to Mark to salvage the bearings.
We're trying to get this bearing in a shape that we can get up on top of the frame there for our pivot point. Yesterday we were a little confused and all that, but we all have an idea. We got a fire over there.
Huh? I'm on fire? Well, yeah. It's probably gonna keep going, too.
Kyle and Nikki's job is to strip, brace, and split the second van just like they did the first one yesterday.
This one will run a lot faster than that because we pretty much know exactly where we're headed right now.
Dave shows up with 2 large casters, which will serve as each van's third wheel.
They're gonna be more than enough.
Oh, yeah.
One of them per minivan, centered, reinforced.
The caster will be in dead center, attached to this framework.
The casters will be mounted on the back of each van, allowing them to rotate a full 360 degrees.
We figured we could put it together on the bottom and square it up on the vehicle once it's in place. If we weld it up solid, I think we shouldn't have any problem at all. Take some measurements here and there and try to get it to the center, and then we'll weld it into this frame rail.
Okay, we're done.
Nice. Does it work? Yeah, buddy. That's awesome.
Kyle and Nikki have the second van fully reinforced and ready for the final step.
I'm getting ready to cut the second minivan in half. Exact same plan as yesterday. Start on the roof, and then start cutting the floor, and it'll peel back open.
Yeah.
That's it, it's cut.
There's still a lot of fabrication to do. I mean, I feel like that could have been cut apart yesterday. I mean, I'm glad it's off now, but we gotta keep moving faster.
Now that both vans are cut in half, Dave turns his attention to the I-beam that will connect them. Mark helps to line it up so they can attach the bearings on either end.
I'm getting ready to just start mocking up the pivot points. We need to be 16 feet from eye to eye of our pivots. And then I'm gonna start tying them together. This is definitely the most important part in terms of fabrication, because if this whole thing isn't square,
Okay.
then we're in deep trouble.
Jamie's working on a related problem to figure out how the crossbeam Dave is building will ultimately connect to the flimsy minivan pod.
The challenge is going to be finding some strong points to tie these things together, because there's nothing strong on these vehicles once you cut them in half. I just want to get these things encapsulated with steel.
The solution, fitting the cars with external roll cages, should do the trick.
The frame rails that I'm making are going to follow the lines and tie into different points here and up here. This is just basic wire forming. I put the wire, the welding rod up to the angle from the top of the roof. We'll use this as our guide when we bend it in the bender. That's good right there, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mark and Rick are moving the fuel tank from the back of the van and installing it in the first pod.
So we're gonna strip back the wires and we're gonna temporarily hook up and see if the fuel pump comes on or off. We should be starting it shortly after that.
Across the floor, Dave is pushing hard to get the pivot structure done by the end of the day.
This is too important. It needs to be done right, and it needs to be done soon. If I don't do it, I feel like it's not going to get done correctly. And this is the most important part of the build. We got to get this thing done.
While Dave stresses out over the bearing, Jamie's got something else in mind.
What are we waiting for then? Let's start the thing.
Let's give it a shot. See what happens.
Hey.
All right.
We're gonna take this clunker for a ride. Can you guys push the rear end that way? I'm in neutral. There we go. Yeah. All right. There we go. That was crazy.
Jamie's maiden voyage is interrupted when the fuel pump gives out.
Dude, that is not running good at all. This all held together, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's push it back to the set.
The test run was a partial success. The concept works, but the fuel system problem still needs to be diagnosed and corrected tomorrow.
Needless to say, we got a lot of work to do tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you.
Yeah.
See ya.
Good night.
Good night.
Coming up on Motor City Motors.
I don't know who voted on it. We were left out.
Somebody's gonna get smacked in the junk.
I have no brakes. I have no brakes. I have no brakes.
It's day 3. Jamie's joyride yesterday revealed a problem with the fuel pump.
Dude, that is not running good at all.
In addition to that fix, the crew has to finish the overhead pivot structure and get it attached to the vans.
A few of the other guys were working on building some sort of a roll cage that's gonna double as a mounting point for this big thing. And hopefully by the end of the day today, we'll be hoisting this thing up in the air and we'll have something to mount it to.
I'm working on a brace to hold in that roll cage just to beef it up a little bit. So hopefully we can get that other vehicle looking the same way as this and then finish framing up the swivel unit. We got the first vehicle up and running, but we had a little problem with the fuel pump. I think we'll fix that, just a little simple rewire job.
Brown wire, the infamous brown wire. We have the secret document. Last night, we noticed that there was a lot of smoke coming out of the exhaust. We figured out that the fuel pump was running continuously. So now we're hooking the wire back to the computer so we don't flood it and have it stall like it did yesterday.
I heard it cycle. Listen.
Here it goes. Yep.
Okay, and then it shuts off.
Then it shuts off.
Yeah, we're good.
The green wire is now officially connected to the green wire. Good to go.
The fuel system works.
Okay.
Now it's full steam ahead to complete the rest of the fabrication. Nikki welds the caster mounting plate on the second van.
Sweet.
Up a little bit more. A little more.
And Jamie gets more pieces ready for the I-beam frame.
Yeah. It's like just a basic structure we're trying to get. We're trying to tie all the hard parts of the car that we have together first, and then we can start tying stuff together, Xing stuff, making it strong.
Dave and Kyle work to attach the bearings to the beam, but they've just discovered a potentially devastating problem. The cast iron bearing won't take the weld.
That bearing is cast iron. It's impossible to weld to, structurally unsound. Can't really use it.
The thing is not going to weld, no matter what we do. I mean, you can try it as well. It's melting it. That's the problem, though. It doesn't get the penetration, right? Because the metal isn't solid, basically the clump just pulls out.
Cast iron does not weld very well. If you do manage to weld it, chances are it's going to crack and break off. That's why cast iron sucks.
It's a problem big enough to derail the entire build. They'll have to figure out another option. Meanwhile, Nikki's finished adding the caster to the second van.
Oh, we're done! That took forever.
Both vans are ready to roll. And in the back of the garage, Kyle has found a solution to the bearing problem, thanks to last week's failed flip car build.
This vehicle has the exact same bearing right here as we have on the other side. We know that we can weld to that type of bearing. I'm cutting the bearing we need out of this project. So I'm gonna do a little bit of grinding on this and then swap it out for that.
They weld on the new bearing, and it's time to put everything together.
We need to definitely clear this out of the way because it's going to hit our I-beam if we go to spin around. Let the cutting begin.
With the day running short, Mark decides to cut first and ask questions later.
Might have been able to use those.
Well, we can always weld them back on.
Well, I thought we might have been able to use that as a mounting post. They cut them down to nothing, and I don't know. I mean, we got to support this thing, and those are structurally sound all the way through to the bottom. I don't know who voted on it. We were left out, me and Kyle. So
We're all set.
I don't know. I know a little bit about this stuff, engineering, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't involved in the decision here.
Kyle doesn't seem very happy about the decisions being made either.
No, let's get these cars set up, please. Somebody's gonna get smacked in the junk or something.
I don't think Kyle's irritated. I just think he's real passionate about what he does, and
Neutral?
he's like work zone mode.
I'm getting anxious. Wanna just get going, that's all.
Sometimes you need to just leave him alone, you know?
Back to back.
Now they're ready to mount the I-beam.
The next step is to get it up over the cars so we can start planning out how we're gonna actually attach it to these things. Definitely gotta go up. Well, you wanna like level it out a bit? A little more? More? Perfect.
I think we should get the two cars, spin them to the closest point, and then we can mount it, and then we can spin each car all the way around, you know, just to make sure that we don't have any conflicts. Cool, let's rock and roll.
Okay.
This pivot point has to be in line with the axle. So we'll run some tubing back to the back, and then we'll tie it down into here, and then just make connectors wherever we need to.
Okay. Finding the exact.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Let's try to find the center of the axle.
But for Kyle, there's always a right and wrong way to get the job done.
We don't need to find the center of the axle right now. It's irrelevant at this point. We don't even have a structure to go overhead yet to line it up with.
So now we are real center.
It's pointless. It's gonna have to happen, but it doesn't need to happen now. We gotta get to the cut, and we gotta start welding it together. That's what we gotta do.
Kyle wants to get things done, so do I. And it seems like we're fighting the priority here, what needs to get done. Me and Kyle got this figured out, and I think that's the way to go. We're not gonna argue, we're just gonna get what needs to be done.
Yeah, we need to build a car, not around finding the center of the axle.
The team moves forward with their plan to create mounts over the axles.
Rotate it, there you go.
While the builders shore up the mounts, Dave takes a moment to start customizing his pod.
I want this windshield out of here. Why? Why not?
It looks like, I don't know what he's planning to do. I want to leave my window in just for the protective element, because we're going to have that big pivot point right in front of the windshield. I mean, that's, who knows what goes wrong. I don't see any reason to take out that front glass.
Can we get those pinched together a little bit? Now we can just move the car, put it where we want it, and boom. Tack the back end in.
After 12 hours of work, the team's labor is showing signs of reward.
We gotta get it done. So I got a little frustrated, I got a little bit hot-headed, but you know, happens.
But with only 2 days left, they still have to see the vehicle run and fully customize each pod.
Hey guys, let's do it. Bring it in, guys. We're gonna put today in the books.
How do you feel about today?
Well, we still have a lot of work to do with, tying this stuff together.
I think you guys got to kick it up a notch because day 5 is going to come before you know it. Both of us want you guys to have the tools. We just failed our last build, and it sucks.
I think that we really have to stay focused tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Keep the speed up and just, power through it and make it happen. So let's make it a win.
All right. Yeah. See you guys in the morning.
Yep.
Passenger vans are a pure Detroit innovation. The first was the Stout Scarab, which debuted in the early 1930s. It sported a Ford V8 engine and was modeled after an aircraft fuselage. In the 1960s, the compact van premiered, with models like the Ford Econoline and the Chevy Van. But it wasn't until the 1980s that Chrysler gave us the minivan, changing family travel forever. It's day 4 of the swing van build. The team has taken 2 minivans, cut them in half, added rear casters for stability, and attached the 2 vans with a giant crossbeam. Today, they have to finish mounting and supporting the beams, then test drive it to see if it even works.
Let's get to work, guys. We got a lot of work to do today.
But the build isn't like they left it yesterday.
You crashed down a little bit, huh?
Oh, I guess so. Wow, holy, that really
Dropped a lot?
dropped a lot. Wow, that's weird. I didn't realize that it would do that.
I didn't really weld that too
Well,
well
I thought
anyway,
the forklift was holding it up, supporting it.
Yeah, it was.
Overnight, the weight of the giant crossbeam has damaged the mounts.
We have sagged.
Their day hasn't even started, and there's already a setback.
Wow, that really dropped a lot.
Broke the welds.
So we had all this stuff balancing on the forklift.
When we came in, that bar was pitched down. All these cross members here were all downward. The forklift there lost a little bit of pressure or something over the night.
Sucks in what's already a pretty slow build. So we need to get it done really with a half a day left to go so we can tweak anything that happens.
Rick and Dave had things their way yesterday, but today, Kyle is taking charge.
So what we're gonna do is get this one completely firmed up, and then we're gonna match that vehicle to this one. And once we do that, everything should be locked in place and ready to go. Hey, Rick, we gotta get this bearing plumb again.
I think that Kyle's kind of stepped up as a leader in a way. He's kind of calling a lot of the shots in terms of the fabrication, which is good.
Now we're gonna start triangulating. Put that right in here, and I can flush mount it right here.
Kyle's solution is simple. Add more steel underneath the pivot point to create extra support.
Straighten it out a bit. You end up.
I'm building support beams.
We've kind of given each other a task. I'm going to be cutting the rough steel. A couple of guys over there are going to be doing the fish mouthing of the pieces so they fit on the rail. And so we're going to get a little production line going here. So everybody's got a task, so we do repetitive things, and it goes a lot faster that way.
The support fits right in here.
This is the first piece we're cutting for to make this strut. In the compound angles, there's about 3 of them in there.
Al cut all these angles. He's showing me how to do it. Every angle he had to cut different. It's pretty cool.
They are very complicated angles, and if you were to sit down and calculate it, the math would be phenomenal. So the only thing we can do is like put it up there, cut it. Put it up there, cut it. Put it up there and cut it. We're just kind of cutting and fitting as we go.
I don't know where your top is, but
That's perfect.
A lot of welding today. That's what's going to take the time, just cutting pieces and putting them in place and just adding to the structure of this monstrosity.
How we looking?
Another hour on that member right there, and then that's going to be it.
Less than an hour.
And then we should be ready to fire them up and figure out how to drive these things.
But that may be easier said than done.
I'm worried about it not acting the way that we want it to.
I don't know what's going to happen when we start driving this thing. I don't know if it's going to work very well.
This feels pretty strong, though.
Finally, it's time for a test drive.
Basically, what we're just going to do right now is try and move this thing around on set a little bit, see if anything cracks, see if anything breaks. The body of the car has obviously been compromised because we cut it in half. Most of the torque is going to be up here, right? You got the horsepower of the cars, you've got the weight of this whole beam. It's very conceivable that something could snap.
But we're gonna just give it a little spin to see if things stay together.
Now that the forklift is backed out, it looks kind of interesting. I think it's going to look pretty bizarre going down the road.
You gotta see the first run, man.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I have no brakes. I have no brakes.
Oh yeah, he totally doesn't have any brakes.
I have no brakes.
I got brakes.
We don't have brakes?
Yeah, you're the brakes and he's the gas. It moves! Look at that!
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, wait, wait.
It's actually moving.
Hey, kids. So what's the problem?
Wicked.
Awesome, dude.
It's like a ghetto tilt-a-whirl.
Still not
Oh, dude, that was sweet.
That was sweet.
It's like
All right.
The beam and supports pass the stress test, but Dave's pod has to get brakes before they'll be able to steer the vehicle.
I thought that was awesome.
that was absolutely ridiculous.
That was cool. When I was coming back, there was this look of fear in his face, and then the car just went.
That's the scariest thing I've done here.
And I'm telling you, man, I swung way over there.
I know, I saw, I was watching it, dude.
I was shaken up. I was really shaken up.
That was fast. It spun really fast.
This is cool.
And nobody got hurt.
You got to check Dave's shorts.
Did you see his face?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, they've got to get this contraption fully road ready and customize each pod before the final test.
So what do you guys say?
Yeah.
Feel good about the build?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Sort of beat the crap out of him and nothing broke. So I'm pretty happy about that. That was fast.
Great. You should try it. Why weren't there any brakes in that thing? I swear to God.
Brakes are definitely important at this point. Yeah, gonna make sure that we get some brakes.
That whole thing about the car spinning is what I would like to see. I mean, it was great.
Okay.
The bearings held up. We put that thing under stress and we flung it around.
Big time.
Yeah. We need a stabilizer, because when I put on the brakes up there, if Dave had been parallel with me, we would have flipped over. I could feel the back
like that?
went up.
So we need a front caster. We need brakes.
We need to get some harnesses in those things too.
To reinforce those bearings, and that's it.
And then decoration.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks. Bright and early.
It's the last day of the build, and while the vehicle still isn't finished, last night's test run was great for morale.
I thought the test last night was really cool.
We were all very surprised that it held together as good as it did. And I was also kind of amused when I saw Dave's face when he did that 360 that he didn't expect.
That is awesome, dude.
I think it scared Dave half to death.
I never seen somebody whose eyes were this big.
That's when I think the safety harnesses went on the checklist, so he doesn't go flying out the door.
Cool.
With 12 hours left, they still have to get the vehicle road ready by adding brakes, safety harnesses, and a front caster.
Yeah, we could probably cut it.
First up, the caster mounts for the front of the vans.
When either of them break, the whole vehicle wants to rock forward. So we have to put a front caster on here that's raised up just off the ground.
Almost like a wheelie bar for the front so that we don't flip over.
Al and Rick tackle the brakes.
Dave wasn't too happy about not having brakes yesterday, so we're gonna bleed the brakes. We gotta break open the bleeder, and then I'm gonna step on the brakes and press it till we have a steady flow of brake fluid coming out. It's tightening up. We got brakes.
Once we've made our triangle, we're going to be adding another support to further reinforce the caster so that it has no chance of moving around or popping off.
And that's it, I'm done.
Nikki is on a scavenger hunt in the back of the garage.
I'm stealing a 5-point safety harness. That's a lot of straps here.
And I don't have any idea how they work.
This goes over your shoulder. You just pick this up and the whole thing falls apart. See, that's how quick it is.
All right, you guys pilfered these off the car over there, right?
We purloined.
Good.
Yeah, that'll work. Great.
Purloined?
Yes.
I don't know what purloined means.
With the safety issues addressed and both vans ready to roll, Dave turns his attention to the artistic side of his ride.
First thing I want to do is make a roof. We're going to put shingles on it.
My side of the van is going to be an homage to John Cougar Mellencamp, and I'm gonna turn it into a little pink house.
And then flower boxes and a white picket fence. My Barbie dream cottage. So we're basically going to have wood paneling all around here. So I got to figure out how to frame it.
Looks like he's building a house. I love the idea. I think it's great.
While Dave's team works on the little pink house, Jamie starts some mind bending of his own.
This is not going to be a structural element. This is just the most basic part of the design structure, this ring that we're doing around this. You know, this is about working together, still putting in our own kind of personality.
Jamie's artistic projects are known for being mysterious until the end. The question is what he's got in mind for this one.
You can see almost the way each brother thinks. Dave's doing a very geometric, patterned out house. It's not very abstract, it's a common structure. Jamie's going a more abstract route and making it into a more amorphous or organic form.
I don't want to tell you because I'd rather you see it.
Coming up on Motor City Motors.
Guys ready to rock?
Do it! I just blew a tire!
With only 5 hours left to finish the swing van, everyone's wondering what Jamie's vision is.
Honestly, we're doing something, but we don't know why.
It's starting to take shape. What the whole overall shape is, I don't know yet.
Compared to whatever Dave does, it will totally contrast what he's doing, you know?
Should look pretty cool. I just wonder where the eyeballs are going.
We need to get roof shingles. We need to get the sides boxed in. And then we need to get a little picket fence around the front. And we're painting the whole thing pink. The challenge is it going to be pink or not? It's a little getaway, just for Dave time.
I like it. He's like kind of business creative design, I guess, and I'm more of acid flashback design.
Dave discovers Jamie's secret design ingredient.
Ah, that's classic.
A big bag of fake fur.
That's gonna be a lovely addition to this build.
I'd really like to make it like just some sort of furry monster bubble. Not even like a monster, but just like a furry mothball with little feelers that scrape on the cement.
Hey, Jamie, check this out.
Mark recycles the old seat cushions from one of the vans.
Oh my God, dude, mine is looking sweet.
Paint. I know they'll probably ride me at work about building a pink house, but I guess I'll have to live with it.
Barbie's a big influence on most of what I do. But yeah, basically it's all about the Coug. The American dream, pink houses, picket fences, that old chestnut. I think Jamie's looks like what does Jamie's look like?
This one is open for interpretation.
It looks like one of those scrubbing bubbles. It's like a really angry scrubbing bubble.
Finally, the whole picture is complete. Now it's time to drive.
You guys ready to rock?
Yeah, fire it up. Do it! I'm hoping it'll work. I'm thinking it'll work. I got pretty freaked out yesterday.
Yeah!
For the build to be a win, they'll have to steer the vans to the end of the garage and back.
All right, let's do it.
And that means brotherly cooperation.
Are you in neutral?
The Coug's in nooch.
Wait.
Keep going straight. Keep going straight. Easy now. Easy now.
Oh, that's a rough ride right there, boy. This is friggin' insanity.
All right, oh.
hold on, dude. Just Jamie, just hold on, man. I'm stopped. All right. Now you gotta go a little bit forward, dude. All right, good. Keep going. All right, cool. There we go. I'm freaking sideways. Yeah! Dude, I can't! Oh. Oopsie daisy. I just blew a tire! I just blew a tire, Jamie. Flat out destroying those things. That's awesome.
Still hold together.
Oh, yeah? Oh, my God. You gotta pull me out of this, Dave. Woo! Oh. All right. That's probably good, huh? Going in together. Going in together. That's awesome, dude. Watch the bike. Good. Oh, yes. That is what I'm talking about. Dude. Oh, God. Hey, guys, it's a solid win in my book. Great job. Yes. Congratulations, guys. Really bizarre build.
Definitely the most fun challenge I've ever done.
Yeah, it was. You guys won a fantastic tool package. Check them out, guys.
Great job.
The victorious builders will each get a Cobalt 41-inch tool chest and 227-piece socket set, a Bailey industrial bandsaw, from Miller Welding, a Diversion 165 TIG welder, power tools from Porter Cable, and a floor jack from Ranger. Total value of this package, $5 grand. A win for the Detroit brothers, but an even bigger win for the builders, who now have the tools to start rebuilding Detroit.
This has been an unbelievably bizarre experience. Everyday life, you would never, ever build something like this. And that's a pretty exciting and liberating thing to do. That was awesome. That was absolutely incredible.
This is definitely by far the most fun I've had on a build, on a challenge. But I don't know if you noticed that mine stayed together way better than Dave's.
I thought it was great. Yeah, just beyond anything I expected.
Even with one blowout, he still managed to drive the thing. This is the happiest thing I've ever done in my life. This is just so cool.
I feel very accomplished, extremely. Like, this was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. And to build this with this team and the brothers, and this was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And it was just the best thing ever. That's all I can say. Unbelievable.
Dave, I'd really like to work together on this next build.
Okay. What are
As
we
a
gonna
team.
do?
Well, we have two caravans, two 90s minivans, yeah. Front wheel drive. For all intents and purposes, they're the exact same car. you remember that bicycle I built when we did the Arctic Cat build?
The swing bike?
Yeah. I kind of like that idea. There's 2 wheels, but if we replace those with a minivan,
Right.
tie it together with joints like that.
Oh, so it'd pivot.
Yeah.
It'd pivot.
I mean, it would be fun as hell if we went to a big open parking lot that was super smooth, that had new blacktop down, and we could whip these things around. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking it's gonna look like, right? If this is our I-beam, and these are our cars,
Right.
I mean, essentially, this is what we could do
Right.
while we're driving down the street. We'll each have our own car,
Yeah.
but they'll be Siamese together.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
The next challenge is to find a beam long and strong enough to connect the 2 vans. Jamie's on the prowl for one in the warehouse. The one he finds is a monster.
That is a big piece of metal there, huh?
But the crew is concerned it might be too big.
I think the beam is as heavy as both of the vans put together. It's definitely strong enough, so that's not a problem.
Rick is no amateur when it comes to making design decisions. He's got a home shop and lots of hobbies.
I'm Rick Sapirski. I'm an engineer by trade. Just out here in my shop, this is the sheet metal portion where I do a lot of metal fab. Cuts just that fine. So these are some of the bikes I build. That's my V-twin with nitrous there. That bike hauls. It's a Briggs & Stratton 18-horse V-twin. At my old house, I built these things in the living room. I don't know, I just like being able to sit here and on the carpet and work. I hold a few patents for some of the devices in vehicles. That was a real passion that I had to come to work and know that a car going down the street had something that I designed and built. Here's my Harley. I've had this Harley for, I think, 14 years now. It's been ported, polished, cam. I've customized quite a bit to it. It's got the fat bob tanks, a gunslinger front fender, and I made a lot of chrome pieces and stainless to it to give it that finished look, I think. And this here's my my little go-kart. It's got a 650 Suzuki in it. I've always been building stuff since I was a little kid, little chopper bicycles, and always been tinkering. Hydraulic brakes, AM/FM cassette player, all the lights function. We got to jumpstart the creativity in this country again. I really think kids should have free health care and Legos.
Meanwhile, across the garage, Dave and Jamie are putting a new spin on an old idea.
Much talked about and widely anticipated Arctic Cat rickshaw. And I'm just gonna say, I hope you got a seatbelt in there.
Killed, dude. There's no seat belts in this.
Exactly. You all right?
Here, you got this too.
Yeah.
But
Keep going. Drop it a little bit. Hold it to the fork.
Yeah.
Keep going. Down a little more.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now we're just rotate it.
I'm gonna take it up a tick.
Okay. A little bit more. Good?
That's a little better.
I think you're good there.
You think so?
Perfect.
Good?
Good that way, yeah.
Okay.
trouble is the body went